Alrighty. I'm back with another episode of the podcast. Yeah, I know I missed last weekend, but anyway, welcome again to another episode of the Cordial Podcast with me, your host, of course, Kang'ong'oi. And the topic of today, my friend, is communication is key. I know, you've heard of this statement and phrase multiple of times. You know, the Englishman was a really good man, Sindio. He taught us that communication is important, and then he told us communication is key to what? To relationships, and to everything. And I decided on this topic because I am coming to realize how actually important communication is, how exactly it is the key to life. Especially living in a country where the mode of speaking or the language of speaking is not as fluent coming from a country where you could talk in languages that people will understand and you will get each other. I think right now I am appreciating where I come from very much, because I can speak in English and somebody will understand. I can speak in Swahili and somebody will understand and they will reply, and we'll go on about our day. And if there is any miscommunication in between there, then it's more of how the other person was taking the message that was being passed through. But where I'm at right now, Germany, because the language isn't as straightforward. I think I've mentioned this in a video I did on my Instagram. I was saying of how, I have now to speak broken English so that I can accommodate somebody who doesn't know how to speak in English. And it's crazy for me to even think of how this is transpiring day by day, because now I have to break down my English to the lowest and most, sorry to say, stupidest English I can ever speak, so that somebody can understand, or just mention in one word, like go there, me come, me go, this bad English, so that somebody can understand. And it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that I'm speaking that language, because I know how I can speak in English and I know I can speak in a way that people can understand. That's why I have a podcast, jamani. That's why I have a podcast. I'm namna gani, my friends. But anyway, it's really it's eating my head, my friend. It is eating my head, because it's crazy how even in the broken English, there's a lot in between there of the message you want to pass that cannot be understood. There's a lot. Like I always sit down and think of the conversations that I've had in a day or a particular time or an experience, and I'm like, there are things I wanted to say, or there are things I said, and I don't think the other party could understood what I was trying to say. And it's crazy, man. It's crazy to even think that you can be able to know what you want to say, but you can't communicate it because the other person won't fully get what you're trying to say, or they'll get another perspective of it that you didn't mean to. And my experience is getting really, really tough on me, because like where in my workplace, even if I try communicating something, like even the one person that you think knows English, or that we think knows better English than the rest, doesn't understand what you say. Like I can say one thing and he will address it as another thing, and I'm always like, man, how do I even talk in a way that you can understand what I'm actually saying? Because you can try to address a matter and then they will take you back to another place. Like they will address something else, and I'm like, bro, I was not talking about that. But you cannot say it because now it will. Because I've tried it I've tried doing that, and it was like, these people are not understanding me. And it's crazy to me, man. And all this is just forcing us, especially people who move to different countries, to learn the language of this country. And it's crazy to me. I think it's crazy, especially in this day and age. It's a bit crazy, but I understand. But also, what I don't get is they don't make it easy for us to learn the language. Like, it's not easy, by the way, because when you listen to these people speak their language, they'll speak it so fast that it sounds like it's gibberish. You get, like, you will, like, I'm now realizing that Africans have, quote unquote, not even quote unquote, we have better dictation when it comes to language. I think every kind of language I've heard of Africans speak is more, it's not, like, you can hear the syllables of the words and the phrases and everything else. But when it comes to these European languages, these people just speak, I'm sorry to say gibberish, but they speak gibberish and they expect you to understand. And then when you're trying to learn the language, because you'll have to take it slow, then you see the words and you're like, okay, this is how they pronounce this word. And then you listen to them, they pronounce it differently because they are doing it fast. Then I'm like, yo, jamani. Now, I am not complaining, but I'm just telling you guys of my experience. And it's like for me, I have the interest of learning this language. I can't go to a school because I live far off the city center, so that commuting is pretty difficult, and I can't get like what do you call it, public transport here, and it's expensive using taxi and all those things. Those are my excuses, but I do with Duolingo, and I'm trying to get in with AI to try and see if I can learn that language. But I have the interest, but I'm also thinking, wow, it will have to take at least 5 years for me and this interest of mine to this language to actually be in a safe place to understand what the other person on the other end is saying. Because even when, like, I'm picking my packages of things that I've bought, and you go to a shop, because they put it in a parcel shop, designated parcel shops near me, and you go there, and if you meet somebody who doesn't want to speak English, or they don't know English, which I highly doubt. But yeah, there are people actually who don't want even to learn English, which is crazy. Which is me, to me, it's crazy if a country is taking in, like, not even taking in, but every country, I think at this state the world is inclined to using English, because English is pretty much everywhere, even in its different forms, but it's pretty much everywhere. But it's crazy to me when you know your country has people who don't speak your language and you wouldn't want to learn English as a basic thing. But anyway, what is life? Probably I'm speaking from a point of privilege. But there are people who just see you and they're like, they don't even want to speak to you. Like, you tell them English please, if you know English, and they continue speaking in that language, and you're like, just say you don't know. Like, it's fine. Don't speak to me in that language thinking that you're helping me learn the language. Like, it looks like a hostile environment now. And sometimes I laugh because somebody might speak to you. I like the kind of experiences I love is when somebody speaks to me in that language, and then I tell them, do you speak English, because I can't understand what you're saying. And then they're like, oh yes, I speak in English. And then they repeat it to you in a well understanding language, no, not language, or sentences. And I'm like, thank you. I always say thank you, because I'm like, thank you for considering me, because I'm new to this country, and I think that makes them know that it's hard learning their language in a short time, so you'd rather just speak to them in the language that probably you can understand. Even it gets even crazier, because right now there's Google Translate, and people still don't want to use it. Crazy, right? Yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, the topic of this particular episode is communication is key, and realizing that there's a lot that people miss out when it comes to communicating, and the language barrier is really something that I am coming to take in slowly and understand. Like, it's crazy how things that I've been learning in school are coming up to me right now, and I'm like, yo. Because there are things that we are learning in social studies and history and everything else, and it looks like I know some people say like 844 was teaching us a lot of nonsense and things that don't really help us, quote unquote. But I think if you go out of your country, then you get to realize how that information actually helps you. Because right now it looks like I am smart to people of this country. Like somebody, I was having a conversation with somebody. There's an old lady who usually comes to my place, and she gives me and my roommate like foodstuffs and just things, to help us integrating into the society. And there was this one time she asked if I read books or we read books, and I said yes. And then she was like, you're sure you read books? I'm like, yes, I even carried some books from home. And then she's like, oh, let me see. Then I show her one book, and I explained to her what exactly the book is about, because it was more on social economical factors and how policies the government create affect all these things in countries and all these things. So I'm explaining to her just in a short summary of what the book is about. And then she's like, do you understand the English that is in there? And I was like, excuse me, I've just spent the last 3 minutes or 5 minutes explaining to you what the book is about. So what do you mean? Do you understand? And it really got to me at that point, because I was like, I'm explaining to you what it means, and I know I'm clearly speaking fluent English than you, and you're still asking me if I understand. And then she's like, I was like, yes, that's why I was explaining to you. And then she's like, you might be explaining, and but the English that you're reading in the book, you're not understanding. I was like, I just kept quiet. I kept quiet because I was like, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all, because it doesn't make sense. But yeah, I decided, no, this is not how I'm going to live. So I decided to address that matter with the person, because she also mentioned, but this was later on, but she also mentioned on that particular conversation that now that I understand, I read and speak in English, then that means I'm clever than the people of this country. Sorry, but I'm like, now it's hey, that statement really icked me, man. What? I'm clever, so you were thinking I'm not clever. So I addressed this conversation with the lady like weeks later, and she was like, no, don't take it the wrong way. It's because the interactions I've had with previous Africans is they don't know much of the language, and they can't speak, and it's hard for even them to communicate because there is no middle ground of communicating. And I was like, okay, but there's a large number of, but don't, like I told her, don't put that into your head, because when just look at what the person is saying. Like if in a particular situation you're in, and the person is speaking good English and they're explaining to you, then that means they are good at what they're saying, or they're just good at speaking and communicating. So don't imply all these stereotypes that you have of some particular people, in this case Africans, and you imply them on everyone. Then she was like, yeah, don't take it the wrong way, it's just that this is my experience. I was like, yeah, sure, I forgive you, I have no problem, but please don't place that on everyone, because there is a huge number of us Africans who know how to speak in English, who can actually speak English better than most of you guys here. So please relax. And it's crazy. To me, I find this crazy. But of course, it's an experience that I'm really, quote unquote, loving, because it makes you appreciate life more. Let me tell you, communication is really beautiful. It's really beautiful, and to me, I love that I'm experiencing this, because even back in my country, I was really, before I even moved, I was really into communication. I was really into it, and I decided to take a whole degree in communication. But yeah, I was really into communication because I was like, there's a lot that gets missed out when you're communicating to someone, be it friends or relationships and all these things, and people mess up things in between there, and it's crazy. It's crazy, but I was so big on it that when I'm coming here is when I'm realizing, oh my God, like there's more to this than just people being ignorant. Like there's more to communication. Like now I have to find ways of, finding ways to communicate. Now you even use sign language, bro. And I've realized one thing I've picked up more in since I came here. And you see now the effects of saying since I come here. Buana, hey, these people. Yeah, like one of the effects is I am now more of a reactor than a speaker because I don't know what to say. Like I react, I'm like, oh, hey. I'm like, yeah. Like some sounds that I didn't even have. Now it's the ones that I'm using. And I'm like, no, I don't want this. I miss like talking. That's why I have this podcast, because now I can communicate with myself, but I can keep my English intact kidogo, because I miss communicating with people who can understand me. I miss it, man. And then there will be somebody who will come here and then start asking me, why are you not getting a white woman? My friend, that's another topic for another day. But anyway, it's crazy, but yeah, communication is key, guys. Like, learn to appreciate it, man. You will appreciate. I think when you move away from your country is when you appreciate, like, people back in your country. You appreciate those simple conversations you will have with people, like even a stranger. Like, you can speak and they can understand, bro. Yeah, you can speak and they uku you hey more than. But anyway, it's an experience, man, and we just have to accept it. So yeah, that's one of the experiences I'm having in this country, and I'm hopeful, like, I can of course stay longer here to even experience more, because I want to travel. I want to go to different countries, know how people handle things, and just experience those countries that you can think of, especially in Europe. But with that we will have to see. But I am so looking forward to it, because it's crazy. But there's just a way. I think when people say that when you move abroad, your mindset is opened. I think it's more of you get to appreciate your home country more, and that makes you feel some kind of goodness that keeps you alive. It keeps you alive, so that one day you will go back and you will be with people who you can communicate with, and you'll be at peace. Because trust you me, if you do not know the level of stress and anxiety you face when you don't know the next person you're going to speak to, if they will even understand, or if they are speaking to you, you will even understand. Because the people here who say they know English, my friend, I always stand there and I'm like, what did you say? And you're saying you spoke in English. The only words I could hear is like one word per sentence, and now I have to figure out what exactly you mean. Sometimes it even takes 3 days for me to understand something somebody said previously. Jesus, have mercy on us. But yeah, guys, that's the experience I'm having here. Communication is tough. So if you're listening to this, please reach out to me, talk to me, call me, because I'm like, I need to speak with people who we can understand each other, man. Oh, how lovely it is to still have friends back home who can call you and text you and feel like, yes, we're at a good place. But yeah, so that is on the topic of communication is key. It's crazy, but I think I'll come back to it I'll definitely come back to it, because I know I'll have more experiences on how my communication is going, especially if now I get to integrating into the language itself and communication. Then that's an aspect of communication I will definitely talk about. So thank you very much for listening to this episode. It has been a pleasure. Of course, as always, I've been your host, Mungai Kang'ong'oi, and I'm signing out. Get ready for the next episode, because it will be as fun as this one. Was it fun? Please tell me in the comment section down below, because if you do not tell me, then I won't get the right feedback and I won't be able to make this venture memorable. But thank you very much for listening in. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed week. Have a blessed new month of November as we wait for Christmas. Yeah, Christmas season is here. Jamani. Bye guys.